Hi, this is Ben from 561 Music Podcast. Right now, we're trying to get 1,000 subscribers on YouTube. It just helps us get out there more. It also enables us to monetize the podcast, to make it better, do more advertising for it and things like that. Subscribe to the podcast and hit the notifications button. That would be doing us a really big favor. Thank you very much. Welcome to 561 Music. My name's Ben.
And I'm Hector.
And how are you doing, sir?
I am doing fantastic.
Yeah, I like to hear that, man. What did we get up to this weekend? We played over at O'Shea's, didn't we?
O'Shea's on Friday, which was pretty fun. It's always fun there. There's always a good crowd there. It kind of ebbs and flows throughout the night, but there's always a good crowd there. It was always fun. Yeah,
it's a little transient, but we definitely have our people who come see us there and stuff.
For sure,
it's a lot of fun. And then we're back in Tiki 52, which is great. So I used to play at Tiki 52 all the time, like almost every 2 weeks back in the day.
Oh, wow.
So it's really, really nice to be back there, especially now they've really kind of pimped it out and made it amazing.
Yeah, it's nice. I mean, I've played there I played there with Killbillies in the very beginning when I first started with Killbillies, and I played there in some other cover bands. And it was, it was back over by the bar, back tucked into the corner and all that stuff. You know the drill.
Yeah.
It's nice that they have that stage now across from the walkway facing everybody. It's a nice big area and stuff.
The stage is, it can box its way against like most other decent like tiki bar venues down here. It's great now.
It's funny. I've played Tiki 52 3 times recently. I've played it more times than that in the past with you, but I've played it recently with Killbillies 3 times. And the first time, it was like, it was so dead, and it had to do with the weather. It was just raining so bad, and so nobody was like, there wasn't a lot of people there. So I was very hopeful for my second Tiki 52 appearance, and then it was like 30 degrees that night, so nobody was there. We literally had a fireplace on the stage with us that James brought because it was so damn cold.
I know, and it was still too cold, even with a fireplace.
So there was a few people that braved it, and I appreciated that, but there just wasn't, what you would have expected. Finally, this weekend, we played Tiki 52 in perfect, like 72-degree weather.
Yeah.
Beautiful, breezy, lovely, no rain. And
do you remember when that lady said that she wanted us to play Folsom Prison Blues because she was going to jail?
Oh my God, we usually close with that, and we opened with Folsom Prison because she said that she had 2 people at the table that were going to prison that night, so could we open it with that and dedicate it to them?
Do you think that was true?
I don't know.
I like to think it was true.
I would like to believe it's true.
Well, I don't know. Would I like to? I'm just glad we got to usher them off with a song.
Right? I mean, maybe it's true. Maybe it's true. So why don't you tell us about our guest today, Ben? Oh,
yeah.
Wait, we don't have a guest.
And why don't we have a guest, Hector?
We don't have a guest because it's 561 Music Festival time! Woo! That's right, guys. We are finally going to make the announcement for the 561 Music Festival 2. It is officially happening April 1st at Mathews Brewing Company. It'll be somewhere around 11 a.m. through like 10:30-ish, 11, whatever time they kick us out of there, basically. But same as last year, 2 stages, 20 bands, back and forth. And there's going to be a few things that are different this year, and we'll talk about all that stuff throughout the show. But the main thing about this show is we're going to talk about all the different bands, all 20 bands. We're going to show you some clips from the bands.
Yep.
We're going to give you some information about the bands, and this whole episode, this whole show is all about the festival and who's going to be there.
Yeah, and the richness and wealth of our local scene and all of the wonderful people who are very kindly coming to play our festival.
Yes.
I really can't wait. We do have a couple of people who played last year, but it's almost all the bands are new bands.
Yeah, it is almost all new bands. And the beautiful thing is this is this group of bands. I'm very excited. It is very much so a good cross representation of local music here in South Florida, and I really love that. In our area, 561, even some of the surrounding areas, and so I love this festival. I love everything about it. The lineup for this year, I'm excited.
Absolutely, dude. And if it's anything like last year, it's going to be so much fun. So, we would love you to come and support it, because it's $10, 20 bands. There's just no downside, really.
Yeah,
and
you can't go wrong.
Yeah, it's a good day out, and you get to support local music.
Yeah,
and you get to make all of us local bands feel like rock stars for a day.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think we're gonna kick off the episode then with usually we put our sponsors in the middle, but our episode sponsors, I think we're going to go ahead and kick off the episode with our episode sponsors. So these are the sponsors for this episode.
561 Music is brought to you by Handlebars Bar and Grill. It's a biker bar in Tequesta, and if you're driving up US 1, you come across it on the right-hand side. It's a little bar there. It's bright yellow. You can't miss it, with handlebars on the sign. And it has a long and storied history. It's been there. It used to be called Judy's, and it was run by this guy Victor, who sadly passed this year, R.I.P. Victor. And then my father-in-law took it over, and he's doing a great job up there. There is a bike night every second Thursday of the month, and there is a jam every fourth Sunday of the month. If you're interested in that kind of thing, it's just an all-inclusive, any kind of music, any style, any ability type of a jam. And there's great beers on tap, and they're wonderful food. Bernsey, the chef, does a fantastic job. If you're interested in classic cars or classic bikes, there's always that kind of stuff hanging around there. It attracts that sort of a crowd, because it's called Handlebars Bar and Grill, so it makes sense. And you should come swing by. It's definitely a local spot and has a lot of character, and there's people who have been going there for decades and decades. It's one of those places that's a part of the furniture in Tequesta, and you should definitely come check it out. I booked the music for the place and love doing it, and I was a part of helping set the place up, and I'm a huge fan. And anyone who is interested in biker bars, or even if you've just never been to one and you're curious about what a biker bar is about, you should go and check out Handlebars Bar and Grill. We are also sponsored by Oasis Root. Now, Oasis Root Kava Bar is in Sea Grape Square on Indiantown Rd, and it is a kava bar. If you don't know anything about kava, it's a Polynesian root that you grind up and you mix with water, and it has been in Polynesia for potentially thousands of years. It's an old thing that they used for kind of ceremonial and also sort of leisure purposes. It's meant to be something where, that brings people together. You will take a shell of kava and chink them together and say bula and have it together like that. It's meant to be something to bring people together. It's has a kind of an effect, which is, I guess, a kind of a slightly warming effect. It just kind of makes you feel nice. It's not particularly intoxicating. It's not like drinking alcohol. So the atmosphere in a kava bar is sort of like a cross between a regular bar and a coffee house. It's pretty chill in there. You get all sorts of different types of kava bars. Some of them are more like a club, there's sort of like blacklight and EDM playing, and some of them are more like a cafe. This is one of the cafe type of ones. It's super chill in there. If you're looking for somewhere to, I don't know, maybe go and do some work on your laptop or go and have a chat with friends, it's perfect for that kind of thing. There's a foosball table in there if that's your jam, or baby-foot as they call it in France. And Jim, the owner, is a really cool guy, and he has very kindly sponsored our podcast. So thank you very, very much for that, Jim. They also do a poker night in there, all sorts of things going on at Oasis Root Kava Bar. 561 Music is sponsored by Live Music Community. It's where we film the podcast that you're listening to right now, and it's also where I work. Gavin, Hector's son, was a student here for a long time, and in many ways he's the musician he is today because of the teachers at Live Music Community. We taught him not only about his instrument, but also about being in a band, and his band, Unemployed Youth, accomplished a lot of goals, mostly band etiquette, how to work together, and all of the nitty-gritty that goes into being in a band on a day-to-day basis. The student signs up for lessons, learns their instrument, joins a real band, and decides the direction it goes in.
and we can take people from very young age, 6 or 7 years old, all the way up to 80. There's no age limit here. We run an adult program for people who want to be in a band as adults, but really the main focus is on the kids and getting them playing together and in bands. We are also a studio, a live stream venue, and we can record audio or video. The Killbillies live album, Warts and All, was recorded here. It was recorded during a live stream that we did during COVID. Justin had a great idea to record live streams during COVID. A ton of bands came in, and it was a real success. But outside of that, we can record albums, we can help you with your EPK, and we have full audio-visual capabilities here. LMC is in Palm Beach Gardens on the northwest corner of Military Trail and North Lake Boulevard. It's north of the gas station, right before you get to North Lake on Military Trail. And if you go to livemusiccommunity.com, you have all the information you'll need right there. Thanks.
And those were the sponsors for this episode. Like always, we always have sponsors for every episode, so we appreciate them, and
Absolutely.
We appreciate everything they do for us, and they allow us to do this and share the music with everyone. So
yeah, and the difference between the sponsors that we have and perhaps other things, other podcasts, is that they're really help allowing this to happen. We don't make any money out of this.
No.
If we didn't have sponsors, then we wouldn't be able to do it here at LMC. So, it's really, really important that we have them, and we appreciate it so much. It's what pays for the whole thing. So thanks, guys. We really appreciate it.
Absolutely. And so now that we've been blabbering and we've been talking and we've been, chatting about the weekend and talking about sponsors, what do you say we tell everybody who the first person on the lineup is? And these guys are in no particular order. This is not the official time slots or anything like that. We're just giving you names and information on who's going to be at the festival. So
yeah, why don't we start off with Joey Caldereo?
Joey Caldereo, love this guy. He's been on the show twice now, I believe, right?
Yep, that's it.
Yeah,
I got to jam with him last time.
I know. I wasn't here. I was sick. I was sick.
It's a lot of fun. He's a cool guy, man. I've known him for a little while now, and I'm getting to know him better all the time. And I just love how diligent and talented and professional he is in everything that he does. And that's really been the hallmark of the last few years with him. The reason he's done so well, and the reason he's sort of got himself out there. So many Spotify. He has hundreds of thousands of Spotify streams, and he's got to play amazing gigs all over. He's put Reggae Rise Up and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He's done all sorts of amazing stuff. His 2022 singles, he had Foolish Games with Nathan Ora from Aya Terror. He had Wave of Life with Howie Spangler from Ballyhoo. He had Paradise featuring Sierra Lane.
Sure.
And he's also worked with a bunch of musicians like Ted Bound from Pacifier, Mihaly from Twiddle, and Kareem Israel of Arise Roots. Yeah. That is just crazy how many awesome people he's worked with.
He just put out a full-length album too, Chasing Constellations, which is absolutely amazing if you haven't heard it.
Yeah.
Joey played the festival last year, but he played just an acoustic set solo. So this year we have the entire Joey Caldereo band.
Yeah,
which is going to be fun. So why don't we watch a little clip of Joey jamming out on the podcast? I think you're part of this one. So
oh, cool.
Yeah. So
I don't know how, but I'ma find a way to a brighter day. And I spend my whole life searching through the valleys, through the hills. Won't quit till I get my fill. So many lessons I've been learning, taking my time on this endless ride through the wave of life. And I keep riding with the current, trying to survive against the rising tide. I'll make it out alive, but I can never be too certain. At the edge of the cliff, all that's left to do is jump. Gotta trust that I'll land it the right way. I ain't scared of the bottom.
Well, all right. Yeah. Joey Caldereo, that was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
And I was awesome.
Of course. I feel like a newscaster here with this stuff.
I know, right?
Welcome to 561 Music News.
It's a little, I feel a little awkward, honestly, if I'm being perfectly honest with you, but it's all good.
So our next band, and again, no particular order, our next band, as you guys know, the one of the main caveats, one of the main requirements to be as part of the festival is that you have been on the podcast. There are a couple of people that we were trying to get on the podcast. We're really looking forward to having the podcast. They're just good quality bands, good caliber bands. So they did make the cut because the podcast episode for these bands will air before the festival, thereby making them qualified for the festival. So this next band is one of those bands, and the next band is Rogue Theory.
Yep, Florida-born band.
Yeah.
And they've been playing around the Sunshine Coast and tantalizing the entire country with their ever-changing, eclectic brand of uplifting and vivacious musicality.
Yeah, these guys play all over, too. They tour and stuff, and they just have some really fun tunes and really good music, and I'm looking forward to having them on the podcast, and I'm looking forward to seeing them on the stage, man.
Yeah, and I've found myself sharing a stage with Harry before, who really is an amazing musician.
Absolutely.
He plays the fiddle incredibly, and it's been a while now, but I did back in the heady days of propaganda, circa 2013, 2014, I've definitely jammed with Harry back in the day, and it's good times.
Yeah. So what do you say we watch, since they haven't been on the podcast, I didn't pull anything for them from the podcast, but I did manage to find a clip of them online playing. So what do you say we watch a few seconds of them playing?
Absolutely.
Yeah, let's take a taste of that.
All right, how about that? Rogue Theory, pretty awesome.
Yeah, dude, I'm excited. I can't wait to see them. I can't wait to have them on the podcast. I can't wait to see them live. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, no doubt about it. So this next person we have is what can only be described as a hometown hero.
Absolutely.
He's just, the crown prince of the 561 area. It's Mr. Bryce Allen.
Absolutely. Now, we tried to do a little reunion and follow in the steps of Barkback. Unfortunately, one of the guys doesn't live here, and so it became a little challenging. So it's going to be the Bryce Allen Band, but I'm very excited to have the Bryce Allen Band. They're
amazing, and they're just about to bring out a new album. They're really starting to cook now. Bryce Allen Band's like all of a sudden he's got a whole load more wind in their sails. And
every single member of that band is just an unbelievable musician. I mean, these guys are just ridiculously talented, and we are very blessed to have them on the stage for this show.
Totally. Over the years, I've worked with Yaz and Mike, and I'm here to tell you that both of them understand music back to front. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I really look up to both of them as musicians and teachers and people. And, so just adding them to the mix with Bryce Allen is just, it's a heady mix.
And we had Bryce on very early on. I think he was our second episode ever of 561 Music, wasn't he?
Yeah. And do you remember that there was the one where he interviewed me? You remember that?
Oh, yeah. He did come back and do that. So,
yeah.
So I think, if I'm not mistaken, we have a clip of Bryce playing from our second episode of 561 Music.
Why? 'Cause I'm on the run, I rise above. Those days were fun, but something has changed me. If you could feel all of this love, you would agree that some things were saving. I know where the weekend go. Oh yeah, so many, many more. Remembering those days of old. Oh yeah, I know where the weekend goes. All right, yeah.
All right, so this next artist might be the most good-looking man I've ever seen.
Seriously,
It definitely a source of a little bit of confusion for me.
I will say that this was one, we went back and forth. You and I went back and forth and kind of, we picked our favorites and we weaned the list down and we whittled it down to what we needed and what we wanted. And we had to get it down to 20. And then we reached out to people and stuff. I'm not going to lie. This is one of the ones that I was the most excited for. And as you well know, I am a huge fan of 80s music, The Cure, The Smiths, all that stuff. And this kid reminds me of that. Like, his music is that embodied, and I absolutely love what he does. I love his look. I love his music. I love his sound. I love his voice. I love everything about him.
Yeah, and there's a couple of sentences from his bio, and I think it bears repeating. He takes influence from 80s synth pop, and he's likened to Billy Idol or 70s Bowie glam with a touch of classic film noir.
Yeah.
And certain aspects of the music is not unlike The Killers, Two Door Cinema Club, and Young the Giant, and Walk the Moon. And that's all pretty accurate. Yeah. And he dresses to the nines too. This guy is cool as a cum. Cool customer.
I'll tell you, I actually I went to go see some bands down south a few months ago, and I guess he frequents the place that I went to see these bands and to see other bands. I guess.
Did you ask him if he came here often?
And no, I did not. I did not. I should have. But I mean, this kid lives the part, man. It's not just a persona on stage. Like that was him walking around enjoying life, man. And I love everything about him. So
Hadi, spectacular artist.
Hadi is absolutely amazing, and we're lucky to have him. This is going to be really fun to have him on the festival. And I pulled a clip from when he was with us on the show. So let's take a look at that.
Yes, sir.
They won't go and change your mind. It's been a matter of time. Why don't we go run away and just hide? Come on, come out, babe. The light's almost out. It's 4 in the morning. Can we sleep it off right now? Come on, come out, doll. We've had enough. It's 4 in the morning. You already got my heart.
All right, so how about that, Hadi? See, I wasn't joking. He's a beautiful man. I wonder how he's going to feel about me gushing all over him.
Yeah. So just as we started out, we had sponsors at the very beginning of the show, and those are the sponsors for this episode, just like we have sponsors every episode. But as you guys, I'm sure, are aware, and if you're not aware, you will be aware that festivals cost money, and because they cost money, we have sponsors. We need more sponsors, so if you want to sponsor 561musicfest.com, there's a sponsorship form there.
Yep.
You can purchase tickets there, but you can also sponsor the festival. But the first, I just wanted to really quickly, as we go throughout the episode, I just want to call out each one of the sponsors that have actually stepped up to sponsor the festival so far, because they deserve it. They deserve our love. They deserve our support for their businesses, because they're doing exactly what this podcast has set out to do, and it's support local music, and we really appreciate that from them. So the first one is Backsaver. And Backsaver Chiropractic, amazing guys over there. Christopher and his whole team, they will take care of you. So, if you had an accident, any personal injury issues, if you just have back problems, etc., go see these guys. They're absolutely amazing, and they stepped up. And as of right now, they are our top tier sponsors. So we are very, very grateful to these guys. They supported us last year. They were one of only 2 sponsors we had last year. And as the festival grew this year, they immediately stepped up and said, we want to sponsor again. So
so thank
you
so
very much to Backsaver. All right. So what about this next band?
Stumble Steady.
Well, yeah, Stumble Steady is. I like these guys. They have some incredible harmonies. I don't know if you remember them being on the show.
Yep.
They have some incredible harmonies. I really like these guys.
So one of the things that I enjoy about their bio is it says pop mixed with elements of bedroom pop. I don't know what bedroom pop is, but it sounds cool. Lo-fi, folk, and punk. And yeah, that sounds accurate, apart from bedroom pop, which I don't know what that is. So the other
I don't know what that is,
accurate.
but I think everyone should come to the show and find out what bedroom pop is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no doubt about it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love these guys. They just have a cool sound. Like I said, they have cool harmonies and everything. So let's watch a little clip about these guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it.
It's the hurry. Do you worry about the chances you might waste? This depression band's in session and I don't wanna be alone right now. Always slipping under covers, lost the night in all your wonders. Please don't let me be alone right
Now, this next artist, Jake Walden, he's had a little bit of a tough go of it over the past year, but he is one of the true treasures of our area. I remember when he used to play over at Double Roads and you know, be at the jams and things like that. And he's just a natural musician. He's a young fella. He can, you know, it's very easy to say, oh, you know, he's talented and da-da-da. And that sometimes takes away a little bit from the amount of hard work people put in. So don't get me wrong. He works incredibly hard, but it also does come pretty easy to him. He's a very, very good player. He plays so beautifully, so melodically. He's a very interesting blues player.
Oh yeah, no, he's an amazing musician. His lyrics are very soulful. Just an incredible artist, and he's one of the few. I think there might only be two full band artists that were with us last year at the festival. Absolutely loved him. Loved everything about him. Loved the whole band. Loved the professionalism. Loved the music.
Yeah.
Were well received by the crowd. So when we were making this list, it was not difficult to make sure that Jake Walden was back in the mix again.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer, really.
Yeah.
I love watching him play. And if you're curious about him, the music has sort of harks to stuff like the Derek Trucks Band, Allman Brothers Band, Stevie Ray Vaughan, Joe Bonamassa, Tyler Childers, Coulter Wall, Sturgill Simpson, and many more. So what you can notice is that you know, there's a good mix of blues there and that alt country type of sound, and that's very accurate for where he's coming from as a musician.
Yeah,
it's great. It's very rootsy and bluesy, but also with this like touch of country in there.
And he's just a really nice guy, which is also, you know, a nice touch. So,
no doubt about it.
Yeah. So so let's watch a clip and get a little taste of the Jake Walden Band.
Good stuff.
I've been walking way too long on this cold hard ground. Seen about every sight there is to see, and I need something to help me get away. Life's about as boring as it can be. If I had another diamond in this town.
So this next band, Euphobia. I don't know if I've ever heard of these guys. Who are Euphobia?
I mean, they're nobodies, man. They're really nobodies. Oh, wait. I think Justin, our producer, is in that band, isn't he?
Oh yeah, you're right. Okay, they're amazing. I remember now.
They're pretty cool.
Isn't someone else in the band that I know?
I mean, they do have an absolutely stunning and sexy ass bass player.
Rocky Rucker?
No, me.
Oh, okay.
Damn it. Why would you say Rocky? Damn it. Rocky. Anyways, Justin, the Euphoria is really the brainchild of Justin Hucker, our producer, and just really cool, really theatrical music. It's hard to explain, but it's an experience. It really is an experience. And James Galliano, our banjo player from Killbillies, is actually the lead singer. And just belts out some really good.
More like lead lion roarer.
Yeah. He just belts it out. And Justin, he wrote pretty much damn near everything in the band. So all the parts and everything. So when they were in need of a bassist, and I was asked to join, or maybe I begged to join. I don't remember. I had a nice big challenge ahead of me for some of these bass lines he wrote. He wrote bass lines that were like guitar lines, and I was like, really? But yeah, it's really, really fun music. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Justin was on one of the episodes early on as well, and we didn't get a chance to showcase his band for the first festival, so we thought it was only appropriate to add him in for this festival.
Yeah, it's the record that he's been putting together. It's like a concept album. The whole thing has a narrative and a story, and at times it's purposely dissonant, at times it's purposefully kind of awkward feeling, at times it just straight rocks out. I mean, honestly, he takes it all over the place in a masterful fashion.
And we took a hiatus for a while. We started working on the album. We took a hiatus for a while, and we just got back together a few months ago. Started hammering this stuff out, really working on it, and week after week we're getting in there. We're working hard on it. We're trying to get everything lined up nicely and get everything going so that so we can put this out. And if I'm not mistaken, and Justin will probably slap my wrist and correct me later after the show, but I believe we're going to try to put this out as 3 different EPs, like Act 1, Act 2, Act 3, since it is technically a story. So
cool.
Yeah. So we're going to try to get into the studio sooner rather than later and start putting Act 1 together. Ideally, we would love to have it ready for the 561 Music Festival. I'm not sure if that's going to happen, but we are trying very diligently to make that happen.
Oh, cool. I didn't even know about that. And I love the music. I've been sort of chatting to all of you guys about it over the past sort of couple of years, and the project's just very interesting, very exciting.
Yeah, I'm very happy that it came back to life and that we're doing it again. So, so I don't have Justin was on here. He played a couple of the songs and stuff, but I have a clip from, I think it was a show we did a while back at Propaganda.
Cool.
It's a little bit grainy, but the audio quality is good, so you guys will get an idea of the theatrics of it. So
excellent.
Let's watch that.
All right, so this next band is very incredibly close to your heart, wouldn't you say? I think that you should tell people about Young Fiction.
It depends on the day of the week, I guess, what mood I'm in. So this next band is Young Fiction. Young Fiction is a young group of guys that play alternative rock, punk, if you will, so to speak. They're really good. They're incredible songwriters. These young guys are putting out some tunes with some cool lyrics and some cool melodies and things.
Riffs for days. I heard the thing they're working on, that new song in the studio the other day, and it bangs.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy the stuff. Like I don't get to go to shows often, but when I do get a chance, I try to get out and see these guys. And they just have some really, really fun music. And when I go to their shows, it's always fun. There's always people jumping up and down, having a good time, bouncing around. They're bops, man.
Punk rock, man. I remember those heady days. I was thinking we should change the name of Killbillies to Old Fact.
Right. So these guys had a drummer, amazing drummer. His name was Ethan, I believe. And Ethan was a good friend of my son's, or is a good friend of my son's, and my son Gavin. And Ethan went away to college, and so Gavin, being the drummer that he is, stepped in to fill those big shoes and stuff. And
boy, is Gavin a drummer.
And he's done an amazing job. I've been texting back and forth with the band because this is one of those bands, like I mentioned earlier, that hasn't been on the show yet, but is going to be. So we have them scheduled, I believe, for March 8th before the festival. So they'll make the cut. But I've been texting with these guys, and they've been telling us, oh man, Gavin is amazing, and Gavin is, filling in very nicely and stuff. And now they're past the point where Gavin's just taking over the helm at the drums. Now they're at the point where they're writing new material, and Gavin is part of that experience now. So I'm very thrilled for them. I'm very happy.
And as I was saying before, I've heard some of this new material, and it is on point.
Yeah.
It's on point.
Yeah.
Some killer riffs.
Yeah, and so again, because they haven't been on the show, I don't have a clip from them on the show. I do have a clip from one of their music videos that they put out. I think this was before Gavin joined the band, but it's one of their new singles, and it's a really, really kick-ass song. So we're gonna play a clip of that and let you guys check them out.
Yeah, rock on. So this next band, The Shake.
I love their bio.
Yeah, let's read it. How to Shake. Half a cup reggae, half a cup pop punk, a tablespoon of post-hardcore, and a teaspoon of who gives a fuck.
Right. That about describes them.
Yeah, I'd say. No, they're awesome. They're such good guys. They're ubiquitous. They have a podcast. They're on tour all the time. They're really doing it. They're out there. They're trying to make things happen. And they are huge supporters of the local music scene as well. Ricky does his own festival, which is really, really cool.
Long live the scene.
Yeah. And he's got that whole structure there where he has an online zine. It's doing the festival, the podcast, and they're putting out cassette tapes too, which is awesome.
Yeah, and Ricky's been a huge supporter of the podcast. He's been a huge supporter of local music. He's been a huge supporter of local bands. He does everything in his power to help and uplift the bands around him, from going to shows when he can to supporting them online to he even brings like his recorders and things to his own shows, and whatever bands he's playing with, he'll record their set live, mix it for them, and send it to them so they can use it for whatever they want. And then he puts out these Long Live the Scene albums, which are compilation albums of all these bands. I can't say enough things about Ricky and how much he supports the local scene. So it just seemed natural. We had the Shake last year. They were newcomers to the scene, and I really enjoyed their music. And it just seemed natural to have Ricky and the guys come back again this year.
Yeah, I mean, we've become good friends since then. And actually, Hector and I are now in a ska band with Ricky on the side.
Which will probably be at 561 Music Festival 3.
Well, we can but hope. Let's just make sure we don't suck first. I'm sure we'll be fine. Yeah, let's check out some of the Shakes music.
Yeah, let's check it out.
I know it's getting really hard to learn how to let go, not figure it out. 'Cause I can feel the amber grieving up inside again, and I can tell that one of us is dead. Wake up, you say it's a fire in the house. Is that enough to burn it down? Is that enough to burn it down? Wake up, 'cause there's a fire in the house. Is that enough to burn it down? Is that enough to burn it? Wake up!
Okay, so as I was mentioning earlier, we have sponsors for the festival. And again, you can sponsor at 561 Music Fest or 561musicfestival.com. Either one will take you to the ticket links. If you click on tickets, you can purchase tickets, or you can drop down to the sponsor levels. And there's different tiers of sponsors starting at $250 and working their way up. And this next sponsor for the festival is actually has been a sponsor for the episodes and for the show for a long time now, and immediately stepped right up and sponsored the festival. And they're actually our second largest sponsor right now for the festival, which is absolutely amazing that they've been sponsoring and supporting the show and every episode for a long time now, probably a year now, and immediately found out about the festival and said, I'm in, like didn't even hesitate. So our next sponsor for the festival is Oasis Kava Root Lounge. Actually,
Oasis Root
Kava Lounge. I got those backwards.
It's a cool spot. I go there all the time. It's one of my hangouts around the corner from my house, and I just love all those guys. They're like a little family to me now. I spend a lot of my time in there just hanging out. So it's a cool spot. So and thank you so much, Jim.
Yeah,
it means
absolutely.
a lot, man.
Thank you, and we appreciate you supporting local music. We appreciate you supporting the podcast, supporting the festival. It means the world to us. So thank you very much.
Okay, so this next band, Uproot Hootenanny, when Killbillies was kind of on its first go around, back in the day, we used to play with these guys a lot, and since then it's nice because recently we sort of got back in touch, and they describe themselves as Americeltic pubgrass, which is basically what Killbillies is.
Right.
We're not that different as bands. They have a fiddle player. That's about the only difference.
Right.
They're really
and we have
good
a better bass player. I mean, a better looking bass player.
No, they're really, really good, and I've always enjoyed their music and just their whole approach to it. And of course I would enjoy their music because it's almost identical to the kind of music that we play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they're just fun, and they put on a really fun show.
That's true. Yeah,
I've seen them live, and people just go nuts.
Yeah, they're very, very popular, and with good reason, because they're all great players and they're also a lot of fun. They're kind of like the Spread the Dub of kind of like
of bluegrass.
Celtic and bluegrass. Yeah, exactly. They have that fun vibe about them,
Yeah, for sure. Well, I pulled a clip, and once again, I believe you are in this clip with them. So yeah, shocker. Yeah, without further ado, let's watch the clip.
Uproot Hootenanny, they are badass. So this next band, 1983, the band 1983 are a punk rock band. They're originally from Southern California, but now they live here in South Florida. And one of our favorite alumni from the podcast, Rocky Rucker, is now on bass.
Absolutely. And I haven't seen these guys in person, but I've watched a lot of videos, and I've watched videos of them performing out in California. Rocky just recently went out to California with them.
Yeah.
These guys tour all over. They embody punk rock, man. They are punk rock.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
No, they're awesome. And they're also playing Rebellion Festival in Blackpool, which just for me brings back so many memories because I used to play it many years ago. I played it a lot of times. I've even played it solo, that one, and it's such a cool festival, and they would fit right in there. That if you know anything about Rebellion Festival in Blackpool in England, you'll understand what kind of a vibe they are.
Nice.
Rebellion Festival is like I don't know how to describe it. It's less of a festival and more of like a convention for punks. It's the coolest thing. And these guys fit right in. Like proper punk rock. I love it.
Awesome. Well, we put a clip together. They haven't been on the show, but they are scheduled to be on the show. So we put a clip together from one of their shows. I think this is, I can't remember if this was a propaganda show or if this was one of their recent California shows. But in any case, I put a clip together. So let's take a look.
All right, so this next band, The Buck Stops Here, they're a South Florida trio, and they've got sort of some reggae kind of vibes, but also a whole load of other vibes.
Yeah,
like they're not just a reggae band, like far from it. They have killer reggae tunes, and they know how to do it properly. But they're also very inventive, and they just mix genres and go all over the place with their music. And so I've never seen them live, and I can't wait.
The only time I saw them live was on the show here, and so I'm excited to see them live. But I have watched some videos of them online, and I got to tell you, like, for a trio, they have such a full sound, and it just is amazing. I mean, they sound awesome. They sound awesome. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah, they're real musicians. They don't mess around.
Yeah,
and they've got their whole thing tied up too. They have great presence online. They have great merch. They're a professional band, and I dig it, and I dig the dedication to it, and really looking forward to seeing them play.
Yeah. So I took a little clip from their performance here on the show, and let's give it a watch.
So long, said what's one more time, I said let's roll. I feel it so fine, one more time, I said let's ride. It's the city streets be my rhythm and flow, I said let's go, let's go, feel. Ooh, the down so long, say one more time. I said it's roll. I feel so fine. One more time. I said it's right. It's the city streets be my rhythm and flow. I say let's go, let's go. I miss the sea, sunshine, rhythm, cumbia breeze. I miss the people in the streets, Caribbean, NYC.
So I'm going to take a quick second here and talk about another sponsor for the festival. This one kind of messaged me earlier this week, and they sent me a message and said they wanted to sponsor. I said, no problem. I sent them the link, and within minutes, they had purchased the sponsorship. And it was really nice to see, because we go out of our way with this podcast to really support the local community. And it's not just the local bands and the local musicians, but it's the local venues, it's the music venues, it's the recording studios, whether it be here at Live Music Community or somewhere else. And this place has been mentioned by several guests that they have recorded there in the past. Mm-hmm. It's Raincat Recording Studios. And so when they reached out to us and said, can we sponsor? I said, hell yeah. And I was so pleased to see someone in the music industry like that just step up and not just be, there's plenty of places that are like, take. These guys, they're in business. They're in business to make money. We all are, they're in business to make money at the end of the day. And it was a wonderful thing to see them step up and say, hey, we love what you're doing. We're fully supporting, what you're doing, and we're going to sponsor the festival. So that was awesome.
Yeah, super cool of them, and the place is great. They churn out really quality recordings, and from the perspective of musicians, because they're musicians, before the whole studio thing happened.
Sure.
And it shows, because the music that comes out of there is intelligent and well recorded, and I still haven't done any recording there, but it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, they said coming. They invited you and I to come by, so we got to carve out some time and stop by and just say hello and check out their whole setup over there and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah, for sure.
Place is cool.
Yeah, so Raincat, thank you very much, guys. It means the world to us that you guys are supporting the festival.
So this next band is our band.
Whoa.
Killbillies, we're playing it. And if you've never seen Killbillies, then it's like folk, Celtic music, bluegrass, and country, all kind of mixed together with a bit of a rock edge to it. We play feet drums, which is a little unusual. I mean, there are actually some very, very good people down here who use feet drums, and that's where originally, years and years ago, over a decade ago, we got the idea to use feet drums from the legend that is Ben Prestige, who plays down here. But that. With the fact that we have a stand-up bass player in Hector and a banjo player, pretty much defines our sound. We can more or less play anything, and it sounds like us because of the instruments we use.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, and we didn't. Last year we filled the festival up, and I was a little bit bummed that we didn't have Killbillies on the festival. Just would have been nice to play last year. And so,
I know you put on a whole festival and you're not even. I got to play last time, a couple of times. You didn't get to play. I felt terrible.
So I kind of came out of the gate with Killbillies this year, and I said Killbillies have to play the festival this year. It's kind of absurd that we're holding a festival and we're not playing.
Yeah,
so,
exactly. I mean,
it's a little self-serving, I know, but I wanted to play, so I'm going to play the festival.
Yeah, hell yeah! I mean, we just released an album. It's called Back to Basics.
Yeah.
We're very proud of it. We recorded it at Sun Studios in Memphis, and we had Steve Falone for Sterling Sound New York master it, and he is a master of mastering.
Yeah,
he's Grammy Award winning, so we think it sounds great. It's very pared down, simple in terms of the way that we instrumented it.
Maybe.
I don't know how to say that, but it's very pared down. But then
someone will correct us.
I believe it to be pared down but high quality. That's what we wanted.
Yeah, it's very. I mean, we call it Back to Basics because it's very stripped down and it's us. There's not a lot of. there's not a lot of overdubs and 15 guitar tracks and all that stuff. It's really us, the way you see us on stage, us
And
stripped
you have
down.
no idea how much self-control that took me, because I'm the king of overdubs. I just love doing that. I'll be there 150 tracks later. So yeah, and it was actually James's idea to do it like that, and I stand by his approach. I think it was the right thing to do.
Yeah. So I have a clip. I believe this is from our album launch, if I'm not mistaken. It's Folk Like Us from our album launch. So let's take a look at the clip.
Cool.
Say what the future brings, and I gotta keep on keeping on. I gotta move this all along. I gotta sail away to chase these blues away. And though I miss you when I'm gone, I'll be right where I belong, somewhere across those ocean waves. Where I'll see you.
Okay, so our next act is a fellow Englishman. We have Spider Cherry, and they're just a great band. I don't know if you've ever seen Spider Cherry, but it's just a riot. Nathan's a natural-born performer.
Absolutely.
He just does incredibly well. And he was just on the podcast, actually.
Yep. He was just on, and I got to tell you, so I was pulling the clips for us to watch here, the small clips of everybody performing, and one of the things that just blows me away is just how good of a musician he is. He had 2 keyboards going. He was playing, piano with his right hand lead, and he was playing bass with his left hand. He was staring at the camera the entire time. Wasn't even looking at either hand, but more so, his left hand wasn't even like in front of him. It was like to the side and behind him, and he was just playing flawlessly.
Yeah, the guy's a boss.
The guy's a pro, man.
He knows what he's doing.
So yeah, and I love his music. I love what he's doing. We love his vibe. So just felt like a good fit for the festival. So so Spider Cherry is going to be playing one of the stages for us.
Yeah, man. He's a veteran of the music scene. He's played all over the world, and we are privileged to have him on the festival. So please, if you come to the festival, make sure you check Spider Cherry, because they are sick.
Absolutely. So I have a clip from when he was playing here at the podcast. So let's check that out.
She's out with another guy. Told her, bitch, do you understand me? She don't even bring me candy. Take me up and then down I'll go. She gave me nightmares like I've never known. And there's a lot that I'm trying to stop. Turn the light bulb back on and feel my heart. I don't know why you can see I'm just a little bit high. No, I'm just a little bit shy. I got my milkshake in a bottle. My foot's down on the throttle. I'm drowning in a river of wine. So if you really wanna know why, I'm just a little bit shy.
How about that, huh? He's awesome. So this next one, Libica, this is quite an interesting project. They started during 2020, like a lot of people, I guess. But this band is an instrumental, I guess it's metal, but it's not always like super heavy or anything.
No, it's not like hardcore metal. It's like metal rock, if you will.
Yeah. It's really interesting music. They're signed to Metal Blade Records, and they've been doing some really, really big shows because they have some great contacts, and also the music stands up on its own.
Yeah.
So yeah, they're out there and just absolutely slaying it. And it was actually a bit of a coup that we got them to come and do the festival. These guys are real pros. They don't mess around.
Yeah, these guys have some heavy hitters in the band. One of the guys is from Gravel Kings, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, and one of the guys was from Killswitch Engage.
Yeah, I know, it's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah. So I mean, these guys are pros. These guys are really, really good at what they do. They're amazing musicians. They sound amazing. They put on a hell of a show. So yeah, we're really lucky to have gotten them for the festival, and we're really thrilled.
I have to say, going through this list right now, it really makes me realize how excited I am for this thing.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
That's going to be
It's
amazing.
just name after name of person I just can't wait to see play, honestly.
Oh, no, it's amazing. It's amazing. So, so I have a clip of these guys, and let's take a look. I believe this was something that they had sent in because they didn't perform live on the show.
Yeah, it's a little impossible for them to. It's just not that kind of thing.
Yeah, so let's take a look at that. All right, so let's take a couple seconds now and thank another festival sponsor. This next festival sponsor is somebody that you've probably never heard me talk about. It's Live Music Community. It's Justin and Live Music Community, where we are doing the podcast. Justin has been nothing but supportive of the podcast, nothing but supportive of the festival. I mean, last year he did tons of stuff for us for the festival.
He worked tirelessly throughout.
He did. At one point he said, "Oh, you're short a security guy," and he grabbed a security T-shirt and sat by the back door and did security for us. I mean, the guy was just relentless about helping us with the festival and everything he was doing. So, we love that we love that we can partner with Justin and do what we do here, do the podcast, we do the festival, and he's just a huge supporter of everything we do. He's just a huge supporter of music, local music. He's a huge supporter of music and musicians. It's just everything he does. He does the Give and Let Give here, where he has people donate musical instruments and then gives them he literally just gives these things to kids and stuff.
Yeah, man, wherever he goes, he's just boosting youth and and just growing talent. And and I respect him. I work for him. I love the guy as a friend, and we're so grateful that he's sponsoring the festival. And what more can I say?
Yeah. So check him out and support Justin, because he is supporting local music, like all of you should be.
Absolutely.
So this next band is Eastway. Now, Eastway has not been on the podcast yet. Eastway was actually a recommendation from Ricky, from our good friend Ricky from The Shake. And these guys, they just have they're South Florida natives. They just have such a good vibe. They have influences are like Green Day, Sublime. It's kind of a psychedelic reggae based melodic grunge, you name it, it's in there. It's all influencing, and it's just really good, unique music, and it's good quality music. These guys, I watched a few videos. I can't wait till they're on the podcast. They'll be here in a few weeks.
Yeah, just the fact that it says the genres that they're drawing from is punk rock, melodic hardcore, grunge, bleeding into indie, psychedelic, and reggae. Yeah. So it's basically a full buffet there of different sounds.
Yeah, and like I said, they'll be here on the podcast in a few weeks, so I don't have a clip from them playing on the podcast, but I did reach out to Ricky and to them and got a clip of them playing. These guys are pros, man. They're good musicians, they're good guys, and they just sound amazing, and they have a unique sound. So just made sense to have them on the festival. So,
absolutely.
So let's check out the clip for Eastway.
All right, so our next artist that we've got is Andy Styron, and she's really cool. I these days have a little bit more to do with her. We speak back and forth just to do with music biz stuff and how to promote music and things like that. And prior to her coming on the podcast, I didn't know her very well, but now I do, and my life is enriched by the knowledge of her now. Well, she's a cool lady.
When she came on the podcast, we found that we had a lot of similarities. We both have tattoos with like anniversary dates. both of our significant others are named Kelly. You know, there was like,
right.
there was all these things. And so it's kind of carried on past the podcast. Like every now and then I'll post something and she'll comment like, yeah, me too. Or I'll comment, yeah, me too. I just posted something the other day that my Kelly doesn't like Valentine's Day. She figures it's like, you know, it's a Hallmark holiday and you should be celebrating that kind of thing every day, not just, you know, February 14th. And she immediately commented, she's like, yeah, my Kelly too. You know, so it's just fun. It's just, I find it humorous. I think
forgot
it's
about your crazy twinning with Andy.
Yeah, we have this weird connection. We have this weird twin connection. So,
well, I'm a bit jealous if I'm honest with you.
Yeah. So Andy, my twin, we are thrilled to have you on the festival.
So an interesting little aside from there. She's signed to a label that has Interstate Records that has a playlist that I'm on and she's also on, and I play this playlist all the time at my house, and so I know some of Andy Starren's songs word for word. So I'm really looking for her to come on to the festival because I'm just going to be stood in the front row like a mega fan. I know all the words.
And now she's coming on full band, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. Yeah, that's the other thing we wanted to let you guys know is you know, last year we had the 2 stages. One was more of an acoustic stage and one was more of a full band stage. This year we're doing things a little bit differently. Both stages are going to be full band stages. The main difference is obviously the smaller stage. We're going to have like trios and things like that because we can't fit a 15-piece band on that small piece of concrete for stage there. But both stages are going to be full band stages, so it is going to be ridiculous.
Time to rock.
Yeah.
Time to rock, my good friend.
Yeah, so I put together a clip from Andy, and I believe it was from when she was here on the podcast, so let's take a look at that.
I cry to the wrong people, and I owe too many favors. I'm not sure if I mean it when I say I like my neighbors. If I feel some type of way, I blame it on the weather. I could leave on time before your peace of mind. I won't be sooner, I'll be later.
All right, so I'm going to give you another sponsor, and this is another festival sponsor. This is Easy Tees, and Easy Tees was a festival sponsor last year. They supplied all of our T-shirts for the festival last year. So if you have a festival T-shirt from last year, that was created and donated by Easy Tees. Easy Tees has stepped up to the plate. Andy over there is a great guy. He comes out to see us whenever he can, but he's working like what seems like 20 hours a day, 7 days a week, so he doesn't get out much. But
the guy's a hero.
But when he comes out, he was at Tiki 52 just the other night. So
yeah.
So
I'm working on a theme tune for him.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give you a little bit of an advance go on that. Are you ready? It goes like this: I love Easy Tees. We love Easy Tees. Without Easy Tees, we'd all be lame. Is that going to work for you?
I don't know. You might have to work on that one, Ben. You're a good songwriter, but yeah, Andy is a great guy. Supports the local scene. Huge supporter of the arts, huge supporter of local music, and stepped up. We get all our shirts, our silkscreen shirts, and our hats from Easy Tees.
Yeah.
So
if you like Killbillies merch, then you like Easy Tees.
Yeah, and so in fact, I think I sent him 2 other people this week. Dominic Delaney and someone else asked me where we got our hats from, and so I sent them both his way. So.
And quite honestly, someone seeing your merch and saying, "Oh, I want merch like that," you can't really get a better.
No, that's a compliment. That's
a compliment.
Exactly. So check out Andy and Easy Tees. They're donating again all the shirts this year, so that it'll help us fundraise for the podcast and for the festival. If you come to the merch table, I will have a select amount of year 1 shirts. If you didn't get one last year, there will be a small batch of those left over from last year that we will probably have a special price on.
I like the way you made it sound like artisanal whiskey.
Well, it's a small batch. So yeah, check out Andy and Easy Tees, and we thank him for supporting the podcast and especially the festival.
All right, so this next act is someone who I just think is the coolest guy ever. Known him for a while now. We chat quite frequently. I really like folk punk. I really like Frank Turner. Dominic Delaney and the Dead Language is just my cup of tea when it comes to music.
Absolutely.
You know, like that kind of folk punk vibe. I'm just all about it. I just think they rock. You know, yeah. They describe it as acoustic punk rock. You know, folk punk. That's that kind of thing. And that's what it sounds like. But it has its own spin on it. He's a very good songwriter.
He's a ridiculously good songwriter. His lyrics are just very meaningful, and it's just very good. And the songs are catchy. He just did this thing where he went up to Lista Vale, and I apologize if I'm not pronouncing that correctly. I believe it's Lista Vale Studios up in New York, and you would pre-purchase a single from him, pre-order a single, and then he went in there and recorded direct to vinyl just for you, that single. If he had 30 orders for a particular song, he played it 30 times and recorded it, each one individually for that person. And
That's really cool.
I am super excited to get home after recording this podcast because my song came today
Are
in
you
the
serious?
mail. I'm going to go home and listen to it. I'm so excited.
That's really cool.
Yep.
Oh man, we got to do that. Such a good idea.
Yeah, it's called On My Way Home, and it's just a banger. I love the song. And I can't wait to hear it on vinyl.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So Dominic was with us last year. He played the festival last year. He played on the acoustic stage, just solo. This year, it's Dominic Delaney and the Dead Language. It's the full band. It's an experience. They are just, their sound is huge. Like you said, it's this folk punk sound, and it's just amazing. They sound great.
They're dapper. They look good.
Yeah, they look good. They sound great. They put on a great show. So we're excited to have the full band there this year.
Yeah.
So let's watch a little clip of Dominic when he was on here on the podcast.
Find my way back home. I'll find my way back home. When I'm feeling down and out and I feel so alone, find my way back home. I hope you pick up the phone. And I hope you pick up the phone.
So we're sort of winding towards the end of the bands now, but
that was 18 already.
I know, it's crazy.
18 bands, man. This is insane. I can't even believe that. Last year was like a blur, and the fact that we're doing it again and we're going to have 20 bands again. 50 cents a band, guys. You can't go wrong.
We're suckers for punishment. But I tell you what, though, last time it went pretty hitch-free, honestly. I mean, you know.
Shh, be quiet.
What did I just do? Anyway,
oh, God.
No, it'll be fine. It'll be fine.
It's going to be a train wreck now.
It's not April 1st. Everything's going to be fine.
Right. Yeah. This is not an April Fool's joke. The festival is happening April 1st. Please be there. Do not think this is a joke.
So in England, April Fool's Day ends at noon. So I'm just going with that.
Oh, well, there you go. So it ends at noon. And
Yeah.
wait, but when is it noon in England? It might be like, is it before
It's
or
like
after?
way before.
Oh, well, then we're good. We're in the clear.
Yeah,
we're in
it's
the
like
clear.
5 hours
Shh,
before.
We're in the clear. It's fine. It's
Yeah,
fine.
exactly.
It's fine. So we have a band called Tasty Vibrations, which it was on the podcast early on in year one. They were here, and these guys were just so good. I don't know how we missed them on the first festival. These guys were just so good. They have, they're a reggae band. Such a good jam vibe. Just ridiculous musicians. These guys are fun. These guys are really fun.
One of my favorite Gear episodes too.
Oh yeah.
There was some really awesome stuff. We're chatting about the pedal board and yeah, they're just really good. They're a jam band that really doesn't mess around. And it's not just jam. They've got all sorts of stuff going on.
Oh no,
funky,
yeah. I was gonna say they have like a funk sound to them too and stuff. Yeah, these guys are really good musicians, and you'd be doing yourself a disservice if you didn't check these guys out.
And I feel like we're saying that a lot through this list, and the reason we're saying that a lot through this list is
it's
everyone's
true.
good.
It's true.
We've got a lot of good bands playing.
Listen, if we didn't have a lot of good bands, we wouldn't be in our second year of the podcast. You know? I mean, if all the bands that came through sucked, we just wouldn't be doing this anymore.
No, it's
true. But we
true.
just keep getting talented bands. And honestly, guys, 20 bands seems like a lot, But when you factor in that we do 52 episodes a year, we missed a lot of bands year one.
Yeah.
We're missing a lot of bands year two.
Yeah.
It's hard to dwindle this down to 20 bands. We wish we could have 50 bands. It's just impossible for us right now to do something that huge and that ridiculous.
There'll come a time.
But yeah, I mean, maybe one day it'll be a multi-day fest. Maybe one day we'll just buy Sunfest and it'll be all the 561 Music fans. You heard it here, folks. 561 Music will be Sunfest one day. So Tasty Vibrations, man. I'm looking forward to seeing these guys. These guys are very laid back, fun, just good, fun music.
Yeah, they rock. Let's check some of their music out.
Yeah, let's check it out.
It's crazy, I've been thinking about you lately. On the day that you've been running through my mind, and I'm running out of time. So baby, let me slide by your side so we can ride into the late night. Take flight, tell me that it ain't right. What you gotta let me see. You gotta give it up, you gotta set it free. Let me see what to do about you. Every step I take is one so closer to you. I'm singing all night long. I've been running to you, but I've been coming to you, baby. Just let me in. All night long.
Okay, so last but definitely not least, we have Octogato. Now, Octogato is the brainchild of Mike Locke, and he has been on the show. He's a really cool guy. He is a DJ these days, but he's getting the band back together, and they are just so much fun. The way that he describes them is for a delicious Octogato, mix 1 part punk rock, 1 part surf rock, and shake vigorously. Now, the fact that that's kind of like a little bit of a fun way of saying it, it describes what the band's like. They're just a good laugh, you know. They have a like a pirate ship wheel in the front of the stage on the mic stand. He's wearing a captain's hat. They've all got Hawaii shirts on, huge guitars, like surf style guitars, and the music is so just like infectious.
It's just fun, and these guys, you know, these guys are. They're punk rock. I mean, you know, they're punk rock, but they're punk rock in a really fun, ridiculous kind of way. There's just no other way to describe them. But
you could put them in any room, and you could put them in propaganda on a hardcore night, and then you'd have all the hardcore kids just all of a sudden just dancing around and having a good time. They're infectious is the best way I can describe it.
Well, the thing that I absolutely love about Octogato is that they are getting back together for this festival.
Yeah, how cool is that?
They only have, I think, 2 dates right now, and the first one out of the gate is 561 Music Festival. And I am excited. Ben made that happen, and I'm very excited about that.
I'm so chuffed. I mean, it wouldn't have happened if Mike hadn't agreed to it. So thank you so much, Mike, because, you know, he had said they were getting back together. He got in touch with me, and he was like, "Oh, can we get an episode on the podcast?" And I was like, "Dude, play the festival." You know? And then they said yes, so it was fantastic.
Yeah, so we are thrilled to have them. It's going to be so much fun and so ridiculous.
Yeah, you got to come down and see this band. I would say it's worth coming and paying $10 just to see the reunion of Octogato.
Just to see the reunion of Octogato. Absolutely. So, I put a clip together. Obviously, they haven't been on the episode or on the show, so we're going to get them on before the festival. And so the clip I put together was from one of their performances or music videos, I think. And I believe this song is called Taco Cat, and that is the epitome of how ridiculous this band is and why we love them so much. So check out Taco Cat.
Who likes tacos? Well, come on, baby. Don't want to talk about it. Kitty got a problem, me too, baby, turn it to wood. Fat cat, be where you took. T-A-C-O-C-A-T. T-A-C-O-C-A-T.
Well, there you have it, guys. 20 bands for $10. It doesn't get any better than that. And so I'm going to take a second now. We've been thanking sponsors throughout the episode for essentially for supporting the show, for supporting specifically the festival, and none of this can be possible without Mathews Brewing. Dave over at Mathews was awesome last year. He put up the venue for us so that we can do the festival, and he's doing it again this year. He's putting up the venue for us.
Thanks, Dave.
So thank you, Dave. It's a huge thing for us to have a venue to be able to do this, because listen, at the end of the day, Ben and I can talk about local music until we're blue in the face, but if we don't have a place to showcase all that local music, and Dave steps up to the plate and does what he needs to do to make sure that the locals have a place to play and for us to have this festival.
And there are still a few people out there who've never been there, not many, but if you haven't been there, it's just great. The sound system is on point.
Yep.
It's this beautiful 3/4 covered space. So if you go in there and you've got like the brewery section, which is just like a bar essentially, and then you go outside and there's this big concert space in the back, which is it's 3/4 covered, so even if it rains you're fine. But the sound system is it's legit. It has a big proper stage and a really, really high quality sound system and a great sound guy. I mean, the place is rad. It's really, really good.
Yeah. So definitely thank you, Dave. Thank you to Mathews Brewing for allowing us to do this again, to basically take over Mathews Brewing again, and do our thing. So we thank you. And there you have it. 20 bands, $10. It's going to be 561 Music Festival or 561musicfest.com. Either one will get you there. If you're a sponsor, click on the ticket link. It will give you a drop-down menu, and you can choose a sponsorship level starting at $250. If you are just looking for tickets, tickets are $10, or for $25, you can get a ticket and a T-shirt, and T-shirts will be $25 at the festival. So essentially, you're buying a shirt and getting a ticket for free. So it doesn't get any better than that. I don't know what else to say about this. It's just going to be an amazing, fun time.
And you've done a great job with all of that back end stuff there, Hector. I don't know what I'd do without you with sorting out all of that stuff. So I appreciate it. And we're all looking forward to it. You got to come and check out our festival. Please help us support live local music. It means the world to us, and it means the world to everyone who's playing. And just come and be a part of it. You know.
Do you want to go through the list one more time real quick, just to recap?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so we've got Joey Caldereo, Rogue Theory, Bryce Allen, Hadi, Stumble Steady, Jake Walden, Euphobia, Young Fiction, The Shake, Uproot Hootenanny, 1983, The Band.
That's right.
The Buck Stops Here, Killbillies, Spider Cherry, Libika, Eastway, Andy Styron, Dominic Delaney and the Dead Language, Octogato, and Tasty Vibrations.
Yep.
I mean, if that's not a stacked lineup, I was a little worried. That we had kind of blown the load last year and got 20 good bands, and that was it. But I mean, we've got 20 equally good bands this year. So.
Yeah, and barely any crossover.
No. I'm thrilled, man. So yeah, I'm absolutely thrilled. 561music.com is our website where you can go to the podcast. You can donate to the podcast. You can watch past episodes or listen to past episodes through any podcast streaming service. You can also bounce from there over to our YouTube channel, and you can watch episodes there. 561 Music Festival and 561musicfest.com. Either one of them will get you to the ticket links. You can purchase tickets. You can buy sponsorships for the festival. It has information there about the lineup. If you're unsure and you want to go check out the lineup, that is also going to be posted there as of the airing of this episode. What else? We're going to have shirts at the festival.
Yep.
We're going to do a few things a little bit differently this year. So this festival, for those that don't know, this festival is landing right after our 99th episode and right before our 100th episode. So this festival is also, besides being the second festival, it is a celebration of our 100th episode. fuck yeah. It is a celebration of our 100th episode, which is absolutely amazing. I didn't ever think we'd be here. I mean, I thought, yeah, let's do a podcast. 100 episodes later, here we are.
I know.
It has been an unbelievable ride. I can't say enough things about Ben and Justin and just making this, as cool and as fun as it has been.
It has been fun, and it's something you sort of you decide to do something like this, and you get going, and you hope it works out. But
yeah.
I think the key to this is it really isn't about us. It's about the local music, and
100%.
And I think that's why we've carried on doing it, because it's not some sort of stupid glorified vanity project. We're just trying to help the local scene, and that's never going to go away. My desire to do that is never going to go away.
Absolutely, and the local scene's never going to go away, and it's just growing and growing and growing. So, we're not going to run out of guests anytime soon. In fact, as of the airing of this episode, we are already booked. We have every future episode booked through the beginning of June, which is absurd, but we do.
Exactly.
Thank everybody. We want to thank everybody for your support. We're going to have our 100th episode. We're going to celebrate our 100th episode at the festival, and then after the festival. So what we're going to do at the festival is we're going to set up a 561 Music Lounge, if you will. It's going to have maybe a couch or something. We haven't figured out the logistics yet, but we're going to have the bands stop by for 5 minutes here and there, just whenever they get a chance between sets, things like that. We're going to have all 20 bands stop and chat with Ben and I for about 5 minutes.
We need to get like a huge couch made in the shape of 561. Wouldn't that be cool?
We need like those bean bags or something. Man.
Yeah.
But yeah, every band's going to stop by and just chat with Ben and I on camera for about 5 minutes, and then we're going to put all of that together. And for our 100th episode after the event, our 100th episode when it airs is going to be us chatting with the bands at the festival, and what they think about the festival, how are they liking it, did they perform yet, if they had, how was their performance, the good, bad, and the ugly about the festival. And it's going to be really fun. It's going to be fun to celebrate that. And it's just this festival, it means the world to us. We did the first one on a shoestring budget, praying to God it was going to work. We couldn't have been any happier with the support of the local community, the support of the musicians, the artists, Mathews, all the sponsors and stuff. And we only had a couple of sponsors last year, but the fact that we had technically 2 sponsors last year and we've grown to 6 sponsors already this year. Last year we had,
it bodes well, my friend. It bodes well.
It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing.
So come down and help support Hector and I's very fragile, bloated egos, and make sure that this is a success.
Yeah. So to drill it home one more time, 561musicfest.com or 561musicfestival.com. You can get your tickets at. Follow us on all the social medias at 561 Music Podcast. And our website, 561music.com, will get you to the podcast. It'll get you to sponsorships for the podcast. It'll get you to our YouTube channel. It'll get you to any of the artists. If you click on a particular episode, all the artists' information is there. If you like a particular artist or you want to check out one of the artists that's going to be at the festival, go to our website. We have bios on them. We have links to their Facebooks, to their websites, to their Instagrams, to all their stuff. So you can check out the actual artists there as well.
So I think it's time that we went back to me locking you in the closet and making sure that you learn all the Irish songs before St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it's about that time. And again, like last year, I don't know whose crazy idea it was to do this right at the beginning of April when March is our busiest season for Killbillies, but whatever, it is what it is. Guys, we appreciate you guys listening. We're gonna do our usual Killbillies shameless plug.
Yeah.
And where are we playing this weekend? We're playing at
I have no idea.
Kilted Mermaid.
Oh, yeah.
Are we playing Kilted Mermaid Friday or Saturday?
It's one of my favourite spots to play Kilted Mermaid. We're playing Sailfish Brewery from 7 to 10 on Friday.
Friday in Fort Pierce.
Yeah, and then on Saturday, James and I are playing the Square Grouper from 3 to 6. And then from 8 to 11. It's Kilted Mermaid up in Vero Beach. And it's a cool spot. If you've never been there, we talked about it a lot on this podcast, but if you've never been to the Kilted Mermaid, I swear to God you're missing out. I also wrote an article about it for Livewire magazine, and if you go online, you can dig that out and it will tell you all about it.
All right, guys. So 20 bands. Like, subscribe, follow, and we'll leave you with a graphic with a little more information, dates, and a link to the festival website and the lineup. So,
Hells yeah.
Thanks a lot, guys. We'll catch you next time.